Hello, everyone. This is Marcus McFarland, Family and Consumer Science Extension Agent.
Hi, I'm Sherry Bennett, the Expanded Food and Nutrition Education Program Educator.
And this is FCS at Home. You know, Sherry, one of the most greatest things I love about the holidays is getting all that food and eating it up. And I know that we previously talked a little bit about some healthier habits, but now it's really important that we talk a little bit about being safe for the holidays. And by safe, I mean with our food and with our surface in our kitchen when we're cooking. Yeah, and so the reason why it's so important, especially right now during the COVID-19 pandemic, is so that we are free from any pathogens that can really make us sick.
That's right.
Exactly. There could be any type of contamination from the foods we eat or from the people that we're around. And I think what's really important too to think about is like right now the CDC guidelines for COVID-19 and holiday gatherings. So one of the most important things is that we're making sure any gatherings that we're holding them to the people that we live with right now.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it be a roommate or whether it be just maybe you, mom, dad, and a sibling, kind of keeping it to that small gathering so that you decrease any type of risk of contaminating or getting any type of COVID-19 virus.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know that can be a little bit hard though, Sherry. Yeah, because we miss our families. We love them so much.
Yeah.
But that's a great opportunity to do things virtually.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that way, maybe it looks like you're with your roommate, but you guys have your family on Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're playing a card game on Skype or on FaceTime later on.
Yeah, opening the presents.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it's a little bit hard, but at least there's some ways that you can be around your family but be safe.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that we're going to move on to is using food. And I know that a lot of the times we come into our kitchens and we're ready to cook, but we also need to think about what the temperatures are and what are the precautions with cooking with certain foods.
Right.
Mm-hmm. One of those being eggs.
Oh, yes. Eggs are always tricky. Whenever we're using eggs, whether it be the holiday or throughout the year, we want to make sure that we are being safe with the eggs. And the USDA recommends using pasteurized eggs because eggs carry with them the risk of salmonella. And when you're looking at some of the groups that are at risk, such as children, elderly, and pregnant women, we certainly want to be careful with eggs and foods that are in that high risk category.
Exactly. So make sure when you're cooking, using those pasteurized eggs and cooking them to the correct temperature you need them at.
Mm-hmm.
And just being safe in general.
Right.
Another thing that's really important, like when we're thinking about cooking with eggs, also other different foods,
Mm-hmm.
and making sure we're going by those different cooking temperatures that you need.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right.
So when I think about those cooking temperatures, I think a lot about turkey. Because that's going to be an important meat, important staple for the holiday meal.
Yes, turkey is the main dish.
Mm-hmm. And turkey, we all know is the cousin of the chicken, and we all know that those are in the poultry family. So we want to make sure that we're reaching an internal temperature when we're cooking our turkey to 165 degrees Fahrenheit.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And whenever we check that temperature on the turkey, we want to make sure that we are inserting our meat thermometer into the thickest portion of the turkey, which is usually going to be that breast.
Mm-hmm. You want to check definitely around that place so it's like you got the right even temperature.
Mm-hmm.
And so and another thing that I like to think about too, Sherry, is your food temperature should go by your refrigerator. So maybe vegetables at the top, those need to be your 135 for cooking with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then things at the bottom, like our meats, like chicken, those need to be cooked at 165.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some of our meats, like if you're doing seafood or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, we can do 145.
Mm-hmm.
But certainly when you're doing poultry,
Mm-hmm.
definitely 165
Exactly.
over the holidays.
Exactly. And so now we know we're really good and knowledgeable about getting that temperature of turkey and just being knowledgeable about some of the temperatures of our food. Let's talk about the last part that really sometimes isn't my favorite, but it's really important. And that is cleaning your space. So what's really important is, even before we cook our food, it's important to make sure our surfaces and our kitchens are clean. We may be going to the grocery store and that's somewhat of a potential risk, but as long as we're following those guidelines, like using our masks and social distancing within the store, we lower those risks. But still, we want to be safe and we want to be careful.
That's right.
Exactly. So what's really important is making sure you clean your surfaces before and after you're about to start cooking your holiday meal.
That's right.
And so today we're going to show you guys a little bit about a solution that will really help to kill any germs and also a just whole great cleaning method.
So what are the ingredients on this?
So we're going to get about 2 cups or 16 ounces of hot or warm to hot water that we're going to use.
Okay.
And then we're also going to do about 1/4 teaspoon of our bleach and add that to the solution. So I'm going to safely pour this into a teaspoon, but over a measuring cup first, and then safely add it to our solution.
And remember, the thing about bleach, even though it is clear, it doesn't take a lot to be effective.
Exactly. So we've got it all together.
This is ready.
Exactly. So now we're going to beforehand kind of clean our surface using some soap, some kitchen soap, and then using a rag.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to add just a little bit of Dawn detergent on here to wipe this down. Good.
Yeah, make sure everything is clean beforehand.
And this is the way you want to do your counters, and we're just going to do a little area. So this is wiped down, and this method actually helps the bleach to become more effective. So now I'm going to rinse it. Rinse some of the soap off.
And wipe it clean.
Yep. Now come out with a nice wipe. Get it nice and sparkly. Okay.
Maybe dry it off a little bit just to clean it up. And then afterwards, all we're gonna do is spray it and make sure that it stays on the surface for a certain amount of time. We wanna make sure it has a good, what we like to call contact time. This gives it enough time for our solution to help to fight off and kill off any of the pathogens that will be out there.
Right, and I would say about a minute. When you're working with bleach, it needs to sit on the surface for at least a minute. Okay.
Exactly. And so afterwards, once we let it sit for a minute, we'll just clean it up. And there you have it. You'll have a great clean surface for cooking before and also clean surface after we're done.
That's right.
For more information on tips, tricks, recipes from our Family Consumer Science program or our FCS program, visit our county extension website at union.cbs.ncsu.edu. Happy holidays.